Have you ever wondered why Koreans try to have perfect skin? Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time on my channel, I'm Odile and I'm an art director working in the beauty industry. On this channel I talk about anything that revolves around the K-beauty industry, from the latest trends and innovations to the history of Korean beauty. This video in particular is part of a series I recently started, where I walk you through the origins of Korean beauty and give you some insights on the beauty practices of a certain era or decade. In the previous episode of this series, I showed you some 90s Korean beauty trends that have been recently making a comeback. And if you haven't watched that video, I will leave you the link somewhere around here and in my description box below as well. Plus, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of my future videos. The Korean beauty ideal of a bright and radiant complexion is not a modern phenomenon. In today's video, I will take you back to the very origins of Korean skincare and introduce you to some ancient beauty practices that changed the history of Korean beauty and are still very much relevant today. First of all, if you're trying to understand Korean beauty history and Korean beauty standards in general, I think it's important to understand why fair and luminous skin is considered ideal in Korea. There seems to be a misconception in the West that East Asians prefer pale skin because they all want to look Caucasian. And I hate to break it to you, but the beauty ideal of pale skin existed in China, Japan and Korea way before people in these countries even knew about the existence of white people. The wish to have light skin existed since the very early days of Korea. According to legend, Korea was founded by a god king called Dangun. In the story, a bear and a tiger ask a god to be transformed into humans. The god agrees, but only if they stayed out of sunlight for 100 days, eating a diet of only mugwort and garlic. Only the bear passed the test and was transformed into a beautiful woman with light skin. The woman later went on to give birth to the first king of Korea. So in a way, this story is telling us that the bear was able to become the mother of Korea because she stayed out of sunlight and she became a human with light skin. Do you see what I'm getting at? White is a very important color in Korean culture. In the past, it was considered a symbol of spiritual purity and patriotism. So it's not surprising that throughout the history of Korea, light skin has always been synonymous with beauty and a high social status. Light skin was especially important during the Joseon dynasty, which was the last Korean dynasty that ruled the country from 1392 to the Japanese occupation in 1910. Confucianism was the official state ideology of Joseon Korea, and this affected every aspect of Korean culture. Because Confucianism emphasized simplicity, modesty, and harmony with nature, extravagant fashion and heavy makeup were banned in favor of a more natural appearance. At the time, the beauty ideal for both men and women was a clean and light complexion that was smooth and radiant like white jade. Glowing skin was not just a matter of vanity, but it was considered a sign of virtue because in Confucianism it's believed that the body is a reflection of the soul and that a beautiful soul would only inhabit a beautiful body. As a result, Koreans developed many methods to achieve the perfect glowing skin. Unlike other cultures in history, Asian Koreans only used natural ingredients to make their cosmetics. And this will later become a cornerstone of Korean beauty. In fact, at the end of this video, you will probably realize that your Korean skincare products still contain many of these ingredients. Step 1. Cleansing. It's no secret that proper cleansing is the key to beautiful and healthy skin. A facial cleanser that was really popular in the Joseon royal court was Jodu, a powdered soap that had whitening properties. Jodu was made by grinding mung beans, red beans and soybeans to a fine powder. This powder was then mixed with water and rubbed onto the skin to remove dirt and dead skin cells from the face. The beans used to make this powder are a natural source of saponin, which is a foaming agent that you commonly find in cleansers. Plus, the fine grains of Jodu also help to stimulate blood flow and promote blood circulation. So we can say that Jodu also had a revitalizing effect on the skin. The ingredients of Jodu were quite expensive at the time, so ordinary Korean women who could not afford them used common grains like rice or wheat. These grains are rich in vitamin B, which repairs and brightens the skin. For the same reason, many women started to wash their face using rice water, a practice that is still used in Korea to this day and that inspired many K-beauty products. Step 2. Preparing the skin. After cleansing the face, it was common to apply a face lotion to soften and replenish the skin, exactly like we do today when we apply a toner. In Joseon, Korea, Miansu was a face lotion made with juices from plants with a high water content, like cucumbers, tomatoes, or watermelons, for example. At the time, people would either squeeze these plants to produce a liquid lotion, or they would simply rub the plants directly on the skin. Cucumbers in particular used to be very popular for their brightening and moisturizing properties. It's said that women at the time used to rub sliced cucumber on their face before applying makeup, as a way to reduce swelling and give the skin a natural glow. If you think about it, it's similar to how we in the West use cucumber slices on our eyes to reduce dark circles. Step 3. Moisturizing. Miansu was usually followed up by a creamy product called Myeonyak. Myeonyak was very much similar to a modern moisturizer, and it was used especially in winter to nourish the skin and prevent it from cracking. To make Myeonyak, all you had to do was put 3 eggs in a jar, pour wine over them, and then seal the container with a thick lid. After 4 weeks of fermentation, the cream was ready to be applied on the face for a smooth and radiant complexion. Eggs are a great source of protein and minerals, and they're still used in Korean skincare nowadays thanks to their incredible anti-aging benefits. During the Joseon Dynasty, it was also common to mix Myeonyak with a few drops of a plant-derived oil, like safflower oil for example, which is something we still do today when we mix a face oil to our moisturizer. Step 4. Face treatments. Face masks are definitely the most popular aspect of Korean skincare. Even your friend who knows nothing about K-beauty probably tried a Korean face mask or two. The first examples of face masks we find in Korean beauty date back to the early days of the Joseon Dynasty, when it was common to spread ingredients like honey or maggot on the face and then wash them off after a certain period of time. All these ingredients had antioxidant properties that made them a perfect remedy against blemishes and dark skin. It's very easy to spot these ingredients in Korean beauty products these days. Maggot and honey in particular are currently living a moment of great popularity, so if you never tried them before, now is a good time to look into them. I hope this video gave you a better understanding of Korean skincare and its origins. In the future, I'd love to do a couple of videos on traditional Korean medicine and how it's applied to skincare, but I'm not sure if that's something you'd be interested in, so let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.